Hello, everybody. Just to let you know, I didn't go to the Hyde Park thing. I decided against it. Now, I just wanted to let you all know that I've just been reading an article. Mind is the charity that's set up to help people with mental illness and to support them. They've been caught mocking the mentally ill. There's a story. It's quite interesting in the Mirror. And the reason we know it's true is because it was put in to a tribunal for Miss Robinson, who she works for Mind and also desperately tried to stop their behaviour and wanted to report them. What they were doing was doing horrible copies and imitations of people with mental problems, calling them druggy bums, slagging them off, saying there was nothing mentally wrong with them and they got more benefits than their wages. And it really upset her. And then they marginalised her, of course, when she reported them and made her life hell. She won her case. And I'm very, very glad that she did. And I wanted to just remark on this because this is not new. I mean, not specifically Mind, the charity Mind, but in general, far too many people mock people with mental illness. And one of the principal reasons that this happens is some of the medication we know causes awful side effects. Some of those side effects affect the behavior, the movement, the speech of the person with the problem. And this gives people a target, if you like. They see something that's different about somebody very easily when they're taking those kind of antipsychotics. And of course, many of us have been fighting for years to look at antipsychotics and the way they work because they are nothing more than um, a cosh, if you like, because they slow everything down. They have little effect on mood except making mood lower. And then, of course, people with depression then take an antidepressive drug as well. And then sometimes you take a drug that stops this shaking. I know because I've been through it. I didn't need the drugs in my case at all. I didn't have a psychosis. I didn't actually have anything wrong with me at all. But unfortunately, between the ages of 14 and 16, I was drugged up to the eyeballs. And then again, through Broadmoor Hospital, I was also drugged up to the eyeballs. It was only a change of doctor that stopped all that. The point is, we might see someone who looks or appears to behave differently or have an unusual walking gait or to be shaking, and it's the drugs, it's not them. They themselves may well have a problem, but the drugs will cause this. So that's very important to remember when you witness somebody who obviously has these problems. Now, I mean, there are loads of other medical conditions that cause similar changes, like Parkinson's. This does too, but of course that's Parkinson's. But by the same token, you can't really tell, can you? So it's you would effectively be mocking a disabled person. And Mind, the charity, should have not only known better, but it should have been something they never ever do. They are a charity set up to help fill the gap for the support that people with mental illness or apparent mental illness need. And mental illness comes in so many forms and so many grades of how bad it is that you know Mind took on one hell of a job as a charity to try and help there. And then we have this, you know. But when I think back to my own childhood and when it happened to me, I can tell you that nurses mocked patients then, and they were nurses, and they were even more trained. There were specially trained mental health nurses still mocking patients. It was very common. And the fact that they were giving the very drugs that made the whole thing change for the patient, and then mocked them, it just made me so angry. And of course, I'm glad that this young lady not only won her case but proved what they were doing. That is terribly important. I just wanted to draw your attention to it because in this time, lockdown and problems, people with either undiagnosed mental problems or with mental problems now, people who are suffering, and I think we're all suffering to some degree during this period. There will probably be, after this period, a big rise in people with difficulties, particularly depression. That's the most likely result of isolation. And therefore, what we need is kindness. We have to stand back and say, well, bloody hell, lockdown has really made people's illnesses worse, and there's more of it now. So I just wanted to draw your attention to that. And at the same time, I do hope that in June we kind of go back to normal, but I'm very worried that we won't. I'm very worried about what the government's plans are, and I'm not entirely satisfied that they're working entirely for our good at all. But I can't really discuss that because I'll probably get banned, so I won't discuss that. Have a lovely day, everybody. It's sunshine outside, so enjoy it if you possibly can. Bye.